This show sucks. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Hello there, it's David here, and welcome to Hot Tuck Tapes, a little show where I and sometimes special guests share our opinions on RuPaul's Drag Race. And back again is Foster. Say hello.
Hey, it's Foster.
Just a little disclaimer, neither of us are drag queens nor experts in the world of drag. We're simply fans of the show who want to start a conversation with you other fans out there on the interweb. This week we're reviewing episode 5 of season 3 of All Stars, and this week we have the Pop Art Ball. Do you have any thoughts on last week before we start the resolution of the queen who went home?
I mean, it was the right decision, and it had been the right decision for a while. I think Gigi handled it with a lot of poise and dignity.
I enjoyed that her message said something along the lines of, like, make it a fair game or play fair or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that these queens are gonna follow it. She probably would have been the most likely queen to live by that message, but a good sentiment. I guess we're just gonna go right in for the open wound. How do we think Aja did this episode?
I'm still a little drained about it still. This has just sucked a lot of the air out of the All Stars 3 as like a series. You know what I mean? Especially after in the previous episode, I feel like Aja was really snubbed of a worthy like win and attention for like an amazing transcendent Crystal Labeisha. Now she got written out of the show for bullshit reasons.
Let's take it back for a second to her performance in the mini challenge, which they did have this episode. So more mini challenge representation already than all of season 9. And for this, they were taking Polaroid glam shots. This was all supposed to be under the umbrella of Andy Warhol. How much all of the challenges were Andy Warhol is questionable.
I will say, this is the only one really that had any real reference of Andy Warhol. Like the soup can thing is like very tenuous, but it's like Baby's first Warhol reference. But the ball portion, like the look portion of this, definitely was not an homage to Andy Warhol, when I think it was originally intended to, and they just kind of changed their mind to suit the justification of eliminating Aja, which is bullshit. Nothing about the title of this episode is accurate representation. This wasn't a ball, because they only sewed one look.
In order for this to be considered a ball, you would have had to include the mini challenge look and the soup can to have 3 looks.
And it also wasn't Andy Warhol, so whatever. We've said this. Okay, let's move on. For the mini challenge, Aja's, it was very demure with like a 40s hairstyle and this like little detail under the eye. Like day 2 makeup maybe or something. Like, but yeah, I liked this.
Aja's look for the mini challenge sort of reminded me a little bit of Violet Chachki vibes. I don't know how reductive I'm being in that, but like just the wig and the feathered, I'm being very reductive. Okay, Madonna. I just felt like this is Violet's gig. And really? Aja was doing it really well.
I feel it's more like hydrangeas. I loathe hydrangeas.
Fully going with this analogy.
Yes.
I definitely think that she deserved to win the mini challenge for what it was. They showed like a split second of everybody, but her picture was the best. Loved the symmetry in it. I also like the other pose that they showed of her with her arm up, like showing the neck. She, I think, knows how to take a good picture. Okay. Facetune or not.
This mini challenge is definitely one of the type, and there were a handful of them like this before, that don't really mean anything and the winner is chosen arbitrarily. Aja won some burgers. I fully think that since Sasha Velour is a vegetarian and can't eat those burgers at Hamburger Mary's, that Aja won the same prize. It's like literally re-gifted from season 9.
They're literally Sasha Velour's burgers.
Yes, yeah.
That is amazing.
We'll see if later whatever her hair care products are given to somebody too. Maybe they save that for season 10.
Next we have Aja's soup can, Sugar Tits, which was the element of this that I liked the best. I thought the name was funny, concept and fit for her character, as commented on by multiple people in the episode. Not very on brand and kind of confusing. I get where Aja was going with like candy, especially hard candy, but I feel like something more fitting would have been like Pop Rocks or Crystal Candy, like something with edge instead of just like sugary sweet. Like that reads very pheromone.
I will say sweet soup, like sugary soup, no. She should have been like a sweet and sour soup. That's a soup. There are 2 polls here, right? Like, so Bebe was actually literally trying to tell you the ingredients of her soup, which is stupid. But Aja gave you something that wasn't really a soup at all. But I guess on the other side of that is like Trixie gave you a soup that also wasn't a soup. It was like a pun on Pepto-Bismol, and it was like also Shangela. They were basically both like Red Bull the soup, but they marketed it better. See, again, the reasoning for everything here is so hokey and it's unfair. It's unbalanced.
I think as long as you can sell it, like they don't really look at things that technically. Aja's was probably too general. It was too like bland. It was just like sugar. Because I get that part of it is like cartoony, sugary, sweet, anime, neon colors. But she also has this fighter and this edge that isn't really covered by just like Candyland. I think she could have made it work. Like, I don't think the direction was totally wrong, but execution was just not there.
Okay.
Her runway.
This is just such bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, Aja's runway was the best runway look of all of them. It seemed like once they knew they wanted to get rid of Aja is when they decided it was no longer a Warhol ball, it was a Studio 54 ball. Even though literally the theme of everything else in the episode is Andy Warhol. And Andy Warhol, to me, is just as 60s, in fact, more 60s than he is 70s. You can say, take the headband out of the hair, it's too much like Brigitte Bardot hair. And then you can apparently shred her to pieces because she, like you, RuPaul, does not pronounce France Jolie correctly. She and Michelle kept saying Franjolie.
Oh.
Not France Jolie.
Didn't anybody fact check this? Oh man, that's messy. I agree that as a whole look, this was the most put together look. There were elements of other people's looks that I was more impacted by, but then there would be other parts of them that I would be like, oh, but this thing, but this thing. Aja's was the most like cohesive look, even if it wasn't like their definition of the era.
The reason I'm mad is that Ru herself is the one who went on this fucking rampage against Aja. She woke up, she came out of her catatonic state to yell at this young person on her lawn, and they don't know anything, and all they listen to is Lorde and the Katy Perry, and they don't listen to this. Well, you're feeding into the problem, RuPaul, first of all. Like, I get it, she's dumb, but like never before has someone saying dumb shit on the runway been like a reason to immediately eliminate them in this way. It was just so wrong. Worse than like Michelle Visage going off on Adore Delano. This is like not okay.
The thing is, I get where Ru is coming from, and I think that in other contexts, the points are justified and almost even like necessary to voice on this platform. Right. But Aja was not the person who needed to hear that. Like, where was this during season 7? Where was this during? There have been many, many queens who have just been like the definition of these very simple-minded, narrow-minded, like.
Where was this for Naomi Smalls with her 70s icons like Kylie Jenner? Or was it 90s, whatever it was.
For somebody who works as hard and is as mindful as she is, she didn't deserve to get nitpicked to that degree, which makes me believe that they were just like trying to get her eliminated at this point in the storyline.
Absolutely.
And just kind of took out whatever they could. Next we have Bebe, Zahara, Benet.
Okay, so we're just gonna keep all my tilt all in one place. First of all, Bebe's photo. What did she do for her photo?
Her photo, she's wearing this pink, like, sort of drapey, thin, I don't know, it's not a bathrobe, it's like a, I guess she wrapped this fabric around herself and made it like a holster sort of thing.
Whatever.
It's like a sari kind of moment,
okay.
I don't know.
I fully don't remember, and also, I don't want to react to these photos. Say whatever you want about the photos.
I can text it to you.
Girl, let's just go.
I just sent you Bebe's.
Oh my god, really? She's wearing a graffiti bath towel.
See? You already have opinions.
It's stupid. I don't like the hair, I don't like the makeup, I don't like Bebe, I don't like the towel. I'm sorry, I might have given her a better judgment, but in this episode we found out that if you don't like a queen, you can just give them horrible critiques and it's unbalanced and unfair for no reason. So
I mean, she just draped a piece of fabric around herself. That said, I mean, Bebe knows how to take a picture. Like, say what you will about her, the fact that she went to modeling school is apparent. She knows how, like, if you even look at her promo look,
she has
and then you like put it against all of the other ones, bitch knows how to take a fucking picture, and she serves it. Bebe's can of soup.
First Achu, now Soup Zaza.
I love Achu. I wish she had kept Achu.
Okay, shut up. No, I'm sorry. Can you shut up a second? I'm just kidding.
The way she says Achu, and then she's like running it by the other queens, and she's like, Achu, what do you think, Achu? She's like, I wish she had kept it. I was into it.
Both soup concepts were stupid. The can itself looked ugly. It was tacky, a dumb idea. What, nut? Like, what's the joke? Peanut?
This Zaza can looked like it was designed on MS Paint. It was fully like graphic design 101 failure.
Yeah, it was awful. Would you agree with me? This was the worst can and it deserved to be at the bottom too?
Oh, by a mile. It looks like a
garbage.
Can of shit. It looks like a poop can.
Bebe, come find me. I'm in your city. Come fight me. I don't care. The soup can was awful. Bebe should have gone home. And Aja should have won.
This is the second week that we're saying this. What the fuck?
how Bebe won for this and the shitty look she didn't even sew.
We'll get there. But I have one more thing to say about the soup can.
Fine, soup.
I will say none of these soup cans were actually designed by these queens. I don't even know what kind of like crayon drawing they submitted to the graphic designer, but they clearly just like submitted something and then some designer did an interpretation of that.
I disagree. I bet they were given like a tablet or something, because Trixie totally did Trixie's can.
They were not sitting there with no touchpad. They didn't have time.
It's
I think
like
they
that
did
challenge
a rough
on
sketch.
Project Runway. They're like, oh, but they don't get the sponsorship, so they don't tell you the brand.
I'm telling you, if they don't get that sponsorship, then they don't commit the time, because that shit would have been time-consuming. They probably handed some crayon drawing that they sketched out in 10 minutes to some poor intern graphic designer
wrote down the
who
concept
drafted these.
And had some. No, I fully think they did it, but whatever. We'll wait for a queen to confirm or deny. I'll give you this. Maybe Bebe didn't do hers because Bebe doesn't know how to use a computer, let alone a sewing machine.
Don't come for Bebe on a personal
Bebe might
level.
have toys because
like
she's
her.
an elderly woman and she needs to wear them for her own benefit. But she doesn't have a lot of skills that should justify her staying in this competition, especially for a fucking winner.
Bebe. I don't think that any of this is her fault.
Go home, Bebe. Go home,
Don't
Bebe.
shoot the messenger. All of your anger comes from the producer's decision. Blame Alexis Michelle.
Sure,
okay?
fine. Fuck you, Alexis.
So let's just like address her runway, this like gay fever dream car wash look.
Okay, first of all, Aja sewed it. So any credit, even if they like it, deserves to be given to Aja, even though they're deciding to send her home.
Well, wait, let's clarify. She sewed the undergarment. She sewed the under, and then Bebe adhered the different fringe things. So Aja didn't sew the entire thing, but she helped with the foundation of the garment.
Okay,
which is
so let
me
reiterate what you just said. Aja did all the sewing on Bebe's garment, and Bebe glued crap on top of it. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Bebe
As Kennedy says, there's a hot glue gun.
So someone sewed it for her, and they asked her, "Did you make this?" And she said, "Yes, I made this."
That was bullshit, and that was fully Bebe's fault. That I cannot put on the producers.
And the problem is that Shangela and Aja were the two who face cracked about it, and neither of them can say anything because Bebe is apparently one of the two people being given the power to send one of them home. So if either of them says anything about it, then they're pissing her off and she has the power to eliminate them. But additionally, I'm going to say that the crap that she glued on top of it looked like garbage, and this look sucked.
I felt like just seeing this on the runway, I thought they would read it. I thought that they would say this looks super homemade.
Absolutely. This looks like the girl who gets sent home first or second on a normal season of Drag Race. You could not sell this for $5 at like a Rainbow or a Ross Dress for Less, bitch. No one would buy this from you. It looks like it's got streamers falling off of it.
To be forgiving for this look, you could say it maybe looks like a pre-reveal drapery moment that they like will wear for the first 30 seconds of the number, like, you know, last dance during the slow section before they tear it off and reveal some sort of a unitard underneath and start dancing. So that's the biggest compliment you could give this look. I fully agree. Not trying to be mean, just it's astounding that this was considered good. All right, so next we have Ben de la Creme. For the mini challenge, she got all of 1.5 seconds of footage. This was a Yentl moment. Do you remember the babushka?
Yes. I guess I can see where you're saying with that. I'm not sure exactly who this reminded me of. Maybe like a little Twiggy in the face. I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe like Hollywood Lawn.
Bendela's soup can, this all-purpose soup, to me, and I know I have a track record of like not favoring Bendela, but if any queen were to do this, it's like that is such low-hanging fruit. That is just such an easy way out.
Why?
Such a cop-out. I mean, the joke is that she's easy. She's all-purpose, you can have me any way you want, blah, blah, blah.
I don't think that was quite the joke. Didn't it contain jokes about how she's won every challenge and stuff, too?
Well,
like,
she's going to put that in no matter what. But I think
no,
in
like
general,
that's the joke. Like all-purpose soup. She's good at everything.
She's a chameleon, like all of the season 10 queens. Either way, it's just like, what are you saying about yourself?
I liked how her face and hair and makeup looked, so I thought this was one of the better soup cans.
Design-wise, it was nice looking, but I don't think that...
I think you just don't like Ben.
Well, but this is why. The reason that this soup can didn't stimulate me is the reason that I've been having issues with Ben, because it's like, what is your brand other than doing well at challenges on Drag Race?
Her brand is very distinct. It's Michelle Visage as a drag queen doing burlesque.
But like, that's not compelling to me. It's a brand created within the confines of Drag Race, and it doesn't have any defining characteristics off the show.
I don't think so. What more do you want in a queen?
somebody who actually has like a thesis, has a message, has a consistent character. It's not just being a great performer in itself and like filling the box that's given to you.
Girl,
it's about like creating your own brand and character.
I do not understand the words coming out of your mouth. I have no
okay,
idea
so
what
like if I were looking to cast a written script with drag queens, she would be the first one I would go to because I would know that she can fill a character that's been written for her. But I wouldn't be like, hey, Benet Creme, please write your own one-person show. I know it will be compelling and have a definitive point of view. I just don't think
I disagree. I bet it would.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I think she can execute, but I don't find her to have a unique voice.
Girl, you already teleported us to Mars, okay? Well, let's come back to Earth. Step your pussy down.
Okay. Let's get back to the soup.
I liked your soup. It made me laugh. I can't remember the specific jokes on it right now because none of the images you sent me will load. She was one of my favorite soups. Plus, I liked her hair and makeup and look. And you're not factoring any of that into the soup. We forgot to say this about Aja too though, but Aja's face and hair looked beautiful in her soup can look too. They didn't say anything about it because she looked the best in face, hair, like actually in drag in this stupid soup can out of all these girls.
Almost all of them began their monologue with open wide and blah, 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 blah.
Sometimes they give them like a template, like Mad Libs almost.
Maybe that was it. I thought that they just all thought like this is such a witty innuendo way to start.
I don't think they necessarily have to use the like opening dialogue they give them and stuff, but I think some of them do.
Step one, as an editor, I would absolutely chop that off of all of them except for one. Like if you have that audio, they already chopped it to filth. Also, I didn't mention this, but they left it on like the slightly right side of the pan because I was watching it with headphones and I was like, damn, why is that voice? All of their voices and then just the narration track alone comes in like from the right ear. Between the green screen moment with Milk where she's like in a white abyss and like the audio dubs from a couple weeks ago where RuPaul's voice is very obviously post-dubbed. So the editing intern is not getting her life. She was busy doing these soup cans instead. They had a Studio 54 challenge last season also, didn't they? For the runway?
I don't even care. I don't even know if I'm a fan of this show anymore. Fuck RuPaul. RuPaul's Drag Race had fucked up drag.
Well, I mentioned this because I vividly remember Alexis Michelle's Studio 54 look.
That wasn't the challenge, though. It was fur. She said it was Studio 54, and it was certainly not.
I'm gonna really piss you off now, but
Great.
Do you know what I'm gonna say?
No.
This look from Bendela gave me a little bit of that Alexis Michelle Studio 54 look.
What? Yeah, you're right. You did piss me off. This doesn't look anything like that. First of all, that's kind of rude to, even though this wasn't a great look from Ben, that's kind of rude to call her look absolute garbage scraped off the bottom of a fucking dumpster. What this really was kind of like a rehash of her Banji Girl look from the ball in her season.
But if we're looking relative to Ben's other runway looks, and given how underwhelming this one was, I think it was underwhelming in similar ways.
I don't think
I just felt like
I don't think it was a fail on that level, because if you'll remember Alexis's look, it was this ugly black fur hat that was giant, bad hair, bad makeup, a weird blue shift dress that was too long in the back with a weird trail, like uneven.
No, I mean, I know.
And then like a chunky black fur coat, and then orange brown tone gladiator sandals.
It's miles worse. It's in another world worse. I'm saying though, that's Alexis Michelle.
You just hate Ben. I'm sorry. Let's both check our
The judges
biases.
didn't like this look
Ben
either.
And I hate Shangela.
I don't hate anybody.
I hate Shangela and I hate Bebe.
I'm simply saying the way that Bendela missed the mark doing Studio 54 is similar to what Alexis Michelle thought she was doing as an interpretation of Studio 54. This is not what you do when you're given this challenge. You don't go for this like basic undergarment and a fur coat and, oh, I put my hair in some balls, so I'm quirky. I mean, look at Kennedy. I know we're skipping, but like, damn, you're giving me a disco queen face. Yeah, I didn't love the leotard, but like, that is at least the right direction.
We're not going to agree about anything this episode. It's so funny. No, it was very clear that she was kind of trying to go for this like blaxploitation era films hair thing, late 60s to early 70s print that you would see like maybe on kitchenware or like linens or like your, I don't know. The print is authentic of the time, but it's tacky. And she's going for this like study in bad taste thing.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I'm very Michelle, still underwhelming.
I mean, it wasn't good, but I don't think it was that bad to deserve you slamming it like that when there's things on this runway like Bebe.
Next we have Kennedy Davenport. The conversation between her and Ben backstage after they got the judges' critiques where Ben's like, they thought I was tired, and Kennedy's like, yeah, you really just let it spill out your ass on stage. I loved multiple Kennedy moments in this episode. Just like her aside to the queens, because she just doesn't have any kind of filter. Yeah. And then Ben lets her have it and is like, well, it's been really exhausting winning every week.
Yeah, that was
just like put her in her place.
I was a little team Kennedy in that moment.
It was following Ben's whole like external breakout of how she's trying to strategically eliminate each queen, which like that's fine if that's how you're thinking about it.
Really tiring.
It's another Morgan McMichaels moment. It's like, if you're thinking that, it's fine, but that's not something that you tell the other queens. I don't think that they are interested in it. Yeah, she just was looking for like emotional support or whatever.
You don't get to whine and complain about having the privilege every week of maybe sending someone home, like, and of doing well.
And like not one of these queens who are still in the competition can relate to that kind of thinking, because none of them are about to go about it that way.
But anyway, so Kennedy's photo, I laughed at this. I thought it was so bad, it was funny. She's not like wearing any look at all. She's got hair over like her like maybe boobs, and she's got like a messy smoky eye and like no other makeup to speak of. You called this Lana Del Rey. I think that's mean to Lana Del Rey.
It's more like if Rihanna and Lana Del Rey had a messy child who's now middle-aged.
But it made me smile, and so I think that's one of the most important things to take away from a stupid mini challenge like this that means literally nothing.
Yes, I agree. I think that they started off with her, so like it set the tone right. They gave her blonde hair in the photo.
I laughed.
It is what it is.
Were they trying to make her look like more like Nico in the photo or something? So then her can of soup. I agree with Michelle. This was a weird choice to be like old grandma for this for no reason. And she's done this before. She was an old lady in the Old Ladies Dancing Challenge, but I feel like she decided to be an old church lady for something else in season 7. They were supposed to be branding themselves, apparently, which I don't know if that was accurately like made clear to the queens, because it definitely wasn't made clear to the audience until judges panel. If that was the challenge and they knew it, then like, yeah, real bad choice to like do it as a character and not yourself.
What is Kennedy's character though? Is it just like fierce lip syncing, like house down, just, you know, pageant?
You mean as a person?
As a queen, like what is Kennedy's brand?
She's the dancing diva from Texas. Can I just stop you right here though, that almost as bad as comparing every queen to another Drag Race queen is expecting every queen to have like a fully articulated branding strategy and specific nuanced character more than someone like Ben, who fully to me is an articulated full character. Like, I don't know what your expectations of these queens are right now. I don't think that's a healthy expectation of queens either on this show or off.
Well, I mean, maybe brand is the wrong word. The way I'm using it is more like vision, through line, just like a specific point of view.
Well, heaven forbid it doesn't make itself clear to you.
I mean, like, you said that Kennedy choosing this character isn't...
Well, yeah, because this wasn't her. This was her playing a character of this grandmother.
So I'm just saying, like, what is it that makes something her? Like, whatever that is, I know what that is more.
No, what I'm saying is Michelle clocked her because, like, all the other girls, Aja came out as Aja and was like, this is my soup and it's sweet because I'm Aja and I'm sweet. Trixie Mattel came out as Trixie Mattel and said, this is my soup and it's peppy and it's, because that's me. Shangela came out, this is my hallelujah hoop soup, it's Red Bull because I'm peppy. She could have picked whatever, like, it is about her, like Southern. It could have just been like a soul food, like Southern soup. Because that was Bebe's thing. She was an African peanut soup because she's from Africa. That's how deep it needs to be. The thing was, Kennedy didn't come out as herself. She came out as like the character of the soup and not her.
She probably just interpreted the challenge a little bit off. But I still felt that this was defined and relatable and showed some sort of point of view, even if it wasn't her representing herself. It still says something about like her experience, the people she knows, her references, what she's pulling from, and whoever that character is, it's somebody specific, and it's somebody that people will know.
But the challenge was apparently to make a soup that brands you, the drag queen, not you, one of the 7 characters you do, not Nancy from your neighborhood, not someone you know, not your grandma, you.
Yeah, I agree. And so for this challenge, she missed the mark. But that said, this was still more compelling than others, I thought.
Well, I mean, it was better than Bebe's. Anything is better than Bebe's. So what? She should have been in the bottom with Bebe, I think, personally. Well, no, actually, no, I take that back. Shangela's look was really bad. Shangela's can of soup was at least better than Kennedy's. So I could even see putting Kennedy in a bottom 3 with Bebe and Shangela.
Well, let's finish out Kennedy, because Shangela will be next. Okay, so her runway, in my opinion, was fantastic. Just for the face and the hair alone. I did have some issues with the leotard. I feel like it just was cut in a weird way where it looked kind of like shorts, and then the like yellow belt was a little, I don't know. That had me questioning things, but the arm sleeve and the hair, and then especially that face, the makeup she really outdid herself with the face. I felt like that was straight up disco, glamour. She looked amazing.
This was not my favorite. It was not to my personal taste, so I'll acknowledge that first. But look, just to judge it fairly, is it on theme for 70s? Because 70s is now the challenge, not Andy Warhol. Yes. Does this have any connection to Andy Warhol at all, though? No. So there's some tension there for me, first of all. Her hair and her makeup were fine. I understand what you said, and I think Raven said this too in Fashion Photo Review about the like awkwardness of the length of the like bodysuit was cut. But for me, even though this is awkward and it feels awkward looking at it, it feels somehow appropriate of the time, because like the 70s were very much about this like running short length shorts. And so if you're going to do like a shorts jumpsuit, it makes sense for it to be of that length. The one-arm disco sleeve is a thing, but it felt like this proportionally was a bit big, which was weird. I feel like I remember thinking the shoes were a little weird with the look, but again, this is all nitpicking. It was a pretty good look if the challenge was 70s and Studio 54 and had nothing to do with Andy Warhol.
Which was debatable.
Right, I don't understand how this would connect to Andy Warhol, though. So again, I'm very confused about the premise and tone of this episode and challenge.
This outfit also gave me just a little bit of superhero moments, but now I'm thinking like the Wonder Woman TV show was around the same time period, so they probably styled her like how this, so it was the other way around. But it gave me a lot of superhero, especially with the belt. She was like, it was a Wonder Woman.
That's the belt I don't think belonged with this at all. I thought it was tacky and it could have been removed.
Next we have Shangela, who I'm sure you have thoughts about.
Shangela sucked this episode. And I'm not just trying to fully be a Shangela hater, but you all have to acknowledge, like, first of all, her photo. What's her name from Scary Movie? It's Brenda. So it's a straight up reproduction of that hair. Which I don't understand how that has anything to do with pop art, Andy Warhol, the 60s, whatever. So it's just a joke. So I laughed at it, but it's like, obviously, I think she was just like, I'm not going to waste a wig on this, which is like fine.
Out of all of them, her picture gives me more Grand Theft Auto color blocking than Andy Warhol.
It had like nothing to do with Andy Warhol. Yeah, it was just whatever. So that was dumb.
Her soup, the Halleloops, which I will admit, when she said the name, I chuckled. I mean, the way that she says it in the narration, like delivering it the first time, it's, you know, a masterclass in voiceover and landing the sexy branding words. She knows how to brand herself.
Yeah,
she knows how to do this, you know?
It just felt very Shangela, so like, sure, safe. Her can, yes, was better than Kennedy's, as I said when we were talking about Kennedy, but boy was her look worse. And this is the thing. If it is a sewing challenge, which this fundamentally is, I mean, it's sewing / branding, but it's a sewing challenge, and you can't sew, you deserve to be on the bottom. So Shangela was rightly put in the bottom and eviscerated for this, but Bebe somehow wins with a look that, in my opinion, is just as bad as this ticky-tacky one from Shangela.
Oh, this was worse than Bebe's look, I thought.
You're right. I'm letting my my anger be mad at Bebe colored, but like Bebe's was definitely the second worst.
Whatever you want to say about Shangela, she did give Trixie credit on the runway for trying to help her sew. And I don't know if this was a shady edit. Maybe Bebe also said that and they took it out so that you'd like Shangela and you wouldn't like Bebe.
No, I challenge
Probably
you,
not.
Bebe.
Probably
I
not.
challenge you, Bebe. Lie to me to my face. Come find me, lie to me, and tell me that you said something that Aja helped you sew it, because I don't believe it.
But the point is, whether she was just like playing the game, trying to be strategic, or if she was genuinely trying to give Trixie some props. She did tell the judges straight up, like with no hesitation, that she had a lot of help sewing and she still couldn't get it together. So I commend her for that. I think that shows a lot of character. And
yeah, but this was just bad.
The look is still shitty. I'm just wondering, where did she get these records? Like, did she have these stashed away in case this happened?
She went to that dollar store where she got the lampshade.
I see. Wait, is it like there's a dollar store across this?
For Bebe?
That's funny.
Or
That's
for Shangela.
So they actually can like go and buy
not.
things?
I don't know. Maybe I think they can within reason have like some PA get them like some shit that's not expensive.
Lastly, we have Trixie Mattel, who yeah, this was a good week for her. What do we think of her interpretation of the mini challenge? The smeared makeup, sunglasses, like what even? It was
Trixie's makeup takes like forever to put on, like layers and layers and layers of makeup. So seeing her do makeup in 15 minutes is hilarious. I thought it was great.
I feel like at a certain point she's just like,
Trixie
fuck
Mattel
it.
the win on this just for like this weird, like bad disheveled makeup.
Giving me art pop, giving me applause.
All right, you're coming for me being too mean to Bebe, but you're going to do that to Pat McGrath. Okay.
I have no idea who Pat McGrath is, so. All right. I just see somebody smear makeup on their face and I talk about Lady Gaga. I'm a simple person.
Yep, true.
Next we have her soup can, which was the best of all the soup cans.
Trixie understands branding, so this was like her part of this challenge for her to win easily, like by far.
The name alone, Pep Abysmal.
This is why I think at least some of them actually did their own can, because this to me looks like Trixie did it. Or at least she was like, here's this image of me, put it right in the center, use the Ben & Jerry's font for my Pep Abysmal.
Exactly. I think she was the most meticulous and prepared and like had her files ready on a USB drive. Some people were saying that this was like reminiscent of Katya's like anxiety moment on the the infomercials.
Whatever. Y'all are stupid. That's reductive.
I agree. I think they're friends and they're friends because they have similar senses of humor. It's not the other way around. And I think this is fully unique, fully Trixie, and well executed, well narrated. Everything about it was great. And her look, I actually did pay attention to her hair and makeup, and that was fantastic as well.
I still think Aja had the best hair and makeup look to go with her can, so those two rank in the top of that part of the challenge for me. Again, really confused why Aja was in the bottom and went home. But then Trixie's runway look was also very appropriate for the challenge. I really liked it. It's a simple figure shape with a, jumpsuit all the way up to her neck, dark pink velour with like a bell bottom leg, but it's cute.
When this look came on before the commercial, her on the horse, I was like, damn, that's impact. The body, we have never seen, we've never seen this kind of body.
Well, she's been consistently wearing body like this season.
This is just the first time I've noticed it. It was accentuated by her sitting on the horse, probably. The narration was great. I thought that, honestly, Trixie absolutely deserved this win. No question. Glad they gave it to her. And it's good to see her rise from her contrived storyline to the predictable Phoenix out of the ashes moment. I hope that it continues to accelerate.
I agree, but again, there was some, damper put on that when so at this point, it's clear, as we've said before, Bebe and Trixie are announced as the winners of this. Trixie deservedly, Bebe has no business winning. And Aja and Shangela are in the bottom two up for elimination.
Bebe fully does not let Aja talk backstage.
Not at all. Bebe is just fully the kind of person like me, to talk over you and just fully steamroll. What especially bothered me is what she was actually saying to Aja. She kept saying, "Look how far you've come," past infinitive tense. This is over. Look how far you made it. Bye. You should have had the balls to eliminate Shangela. Shangela did worse this week.
That was never going to happen. But do you think that Trixie chose Shangela? We haven't found out yet.
We haven't found out yet, but I bet she did because they're going to re-inflame drama between the two of them.
I think that Trixie also.
Trixie said herself that Aja looked the best of everyone there tonight.
Yes, but
she did.
They had talking head moments at the inception of the candy soup and at the end where Trixie was like, that was so off the mark and I do not know what Aja was doing. Girl, that doesn't work at all.
We'll see. We'll see next week. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. This will actually be confirmed.
That the real reason why I think that Trixie chose to send Shangela home with her lipstick is because when they chose the lip sync song, they chose for it to be a Diana Ross song, when Bebe looked vaguely again like Diana Ross after they had already established that Bebe does a great impression of Diana Ross. I said, wouldn't it be funny if they just like fully give a Dolly Parton song to Trixie, since they keep letting Trixie be Trixie the whole time? And then, lo and behold, they did literally that, but in the benefit of Bebe. I mean, the show has always been rigged to some degree, but now that we're on VH1 loves to stir the pot. We love drama. The hoop skirt underneath this drag queen has been fully revealed. This is the mechanism that makes the show go. It has never been more like painfully obvious how produced and how phony this show is. Trixie was trying to keep up, but I think it was a bad choice for her to like blow these moves that she has, like this jumping high kick and shit.
As rigged as the song choice was, Bebe did like just do better at the lip sync, but how could she not?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I enjoyed Bebe's lip sync. All things aside, if I were just seeing this in a club, like, I thought that she did a great job. I thought that her hand movements and everything was very coordinated with the beats. Like, that was more entertaining than her interpretation of Diana Ross
You're
for
right.
the challenge.
I've been very hard on Bebe. This version of Diana Ross was better than her last one. This lip sync was more on than I've ever seen Bebe lip sync, because
well, she had $10,000 on the line, so that's basically why.
So yeah, good for you, Bebe. She hit a frickin' T-ball. Great, woohoo.
At that moment, Trixie must have been so over it. If she didn't already know that they were choosing this number and they had to prepare it, when that song came on, she should have fully like taken a seat and just mouthed, like, not Charlie Hyde's level, because she probably would have gotten like in trouble for that, but some sort of really lackadaisical interpretation.
Yeah, so Bebe wins, because woohoo. She eliminates Aja. I want to flip a table. This show's stupid.
She says Aja's name before she even pulls out the lipstick.
Yeah, that was stupid. I'm like, wow, very professional of you.
When they get back to her and she like very meticulously pulls out the lipstick and models it, it's like, oh, you had a producer tell you between shots, like, you need to pull out the lipstick now, please.
Maybe if she had sewn her own garment, she would have known where to pull it out of.
It's very sad. Aja says bye. Her packing video, the behind the scenes, is so funny. She rolls around in roller skates, wears a wig. She doesn't give any shits. She's just having a good time. Go watch it if you haven't.
Which, good for Aja. I'm glad that she has more of a sense of humor about this than me, because I'm just like, fucking stupid. She has had such a great growth, and I'm glad that America can see that she is a good queen, because she got a lot of hate on her season because of her skin, frankly, which is fucked up. But I'm glad that we've come to a place where we're able to really give Aja like credit, props, and like praise that she is due. The show has done a terrible job at giving that accolades, but it's maybe no surprise that a large industry is, you know, not giving POC accolades for what they do.
But I think this season made a big impact. As brief as her time was relatively, I guess, she definitely more than redeemed whatever criticisms people gave her on her season. But I think that, in general, it's recognized now. That
I agree, but I feel like she deserved a place in the top 3.
That said, we don't know if she's going to be returning during this season, because they did leave us with a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, there was a cliffhanger. 3 people in capes. One of them is Aja. You can recognize it from her forearm tattoos. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't want to go in, and I was thinking maybe Morgan McMichaels, because she also has arm tattoos. But if you want to go right in,
Morgan McMichaels is one of them also. What do you think they're gonna do?
I want them to have a lip sync off. I want it to be like wham, bam, one after the other, like lip sync your way back into the competition.
I think they should have a competition where all 3 of them make a dress for Bebe. And whichever one she likes the best, she wears in the main challenge, and then Bebe wins. Or maybe they should all 3 of them do Bebe's makeup, and then tell Bebe how beautiful she looks.
No, Bebe, don't come for Bebe like that. Her makeup is great. She's good at doing her makeup.
You're right. She can paint her face. In a while, maybe I'll cool down Bebe, but this is wrong. And I think some part of you knows this was really wrong for you to send home a queen like Aja for this.
I think it all comes down to Bebe doing what she was told to do. I think it's very simple and has very little to do with Bebe. I think the only thing that Bebe really has anything to do with is not giving Aja credit for sewing her dress, which was criminal.
I'll calm down. We'll be fine, Bebe. And I know that the queens are fine with each other too. You know, like Aja is not like brokenhearted because of this.
Right, it's
Aja's still getting bookings. But this is what I want y'all to know. Aja's a great queen. I've seen her in person. She smells really good.
So I have a few little miscellaneous bits and bobs, as I like to do. First off, we didn't address Rue's look on the runway, but this black swim cap moment under the blonde wig.
I kind of liked it. What did you think of it?
I thought it looked like a black swim cap under the wig. Like the root, it didn't even look like roots. It was just such a harsh line. And
roots. Oh, yes, absolutely. I think the dress, I liked it.
Oh, yeah, I thought the dress was cool.
But the root, yeah, you're right. The root on this hair was awful.
Terrible. What is going on with the hair?
Yeah, I don't know if Delta was, like, mad at her this episode or something, but, like...
It's either like a just wig cap or a swim cap showing, or that she just like stuck her hand in some black grease tar stuff and like wiped it across her forehead. Either way, it does not look anything like some roots, and I don't know why they let her step on the runway like that. Oh, also a bit for Trixie's judging section, the fact that she like fully and outwardly represented no tape tucking when they were like, your camel toe is showing, and she's like, I cannot put tape. Honestly, that is really important at this point in the show to establish for their wide fan base that like not every professional drag queen tucks like Trinity Taylor does. Because that's like the first question some basic Drag Race fan is going to ask a drag queen, like, what is it like to tuck and have to tape, blah, blah, blah. So Trixie was just like going out there and representing in the context of the show.
Not every queen tucks. Bianca Del Rio doesn't tuck. That's why she wears a long-ass silhouette like that. She doesn't shave her legs, and she usually doesn't tuck.
It is up to them how they do their drag. So quotes from the episode, Shangela saying that she's back at square one at the drawing board. A moment. Mixed analogies.
Also, I could still deal with like 20% less Shangela. If you want to cut all of me talking about Shangela out of the content, we should also cut like an equal portion of Shangela out of every episode of Drag Race, because there's just a lot of Shangela talking.
She's coming for me. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to call my producer Alexa Sonia. Also, Shangela like fully pandering to the Pretty Little Liars girl, I don't remember her name, being like, oh, you know what fish is. Oh, good for you, you knowing what fish is.
This definitely is the season of throwing low balls to straight women.
And then some great Kennedy quotes. Her singing "There's a glue gun" to Bebe was like probably my favorite moment of this entire episode, to be honest. On the couch saying TYA, tear yo ass, like get out of here. I love her.
I'm sorry, I really do.
I feel like I probably actually like her better out of drag than in drag.
I would be, yeah, I kind of agree. So fuck her drag, right?
All right, so with that out of the way, we're going to get to some comment moments.
This comment is from Jorge Alexander, but it's spelled with a V, so Jorge Alexvinder.
Is it a good avatar, good prof pic?
It looks like his face.
Oh, okay.
He's a person. And he said, I feel like David gets overpowered by Foster, and it low-key annoys me. Do you have any feelings about that?
Where is the lie?
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Probably the best task if you find yourself in this situation where you think another speaker is overpowering you is to like fully just wait until they are done, listen even as long as it takes until they have like said everything they need to say, and then you can come in and will probably face less resistance when you try and make your point. Patience is a virtue, and you know, not always one of mine. So. It's a shared, it takes two to tango, my fellows.
That's true. We both do that. You're just more polite.
Your comment comes from Jim Rat Carpe Diem, whose profile picture is his bicep flexing.
Oh, word.
Can Foster tell us if he's a fashion designer or a fashion student, or is he a fashionista? And God, I hope Foster doesn't try to be less bitchy. That would be like Eddie and Patsy on AbFab being nicer. Don't go that way, girl. A clever fashionista reading Queens to Filth. Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow, that's the nicest comment. I was expecting it to be hateful and mean. First of all, thank you, Bicep. Patsy is a huge inspiration. But no, I'm not a design student or a fashion designer. I don't know.
But you are a fashionista.
I mean, yeah. If I was going to categorize myself, I guess that of the three would be the most appropriate. Yeah.
She's not a Maxinista.
Oh,
she's
absolutely not. Yeah, no.
It's really cool. Like, you collect clothes. You've been collecting clothes for years.
Yes.
She has a large collection, so you're not going to see an outfit repeat from her, even though for me, you're seeing a shirt in videos from 2012, if not earlier. And that's not the only comment that has commented on Foster's looks. So if you want to see more of them, you're just going to have to keep coming back week after week, because she's going to be turning them out. And yeah, I'll continue to give you target. Thank you guys so much for sending in all of your comments. There were like so many on last week's video, and especially given I posted it at like 9:30 p.m. or something, it really made my heart happy to just like see engagement coming in right away. Share us your thoughts on this episode. If you agreed or disagreed with your opinions, we love hearing both sides of that.
Please continue to check me and tell me when I'm being a fool, because like sometimes it's nice to, you know, just like be reminded.
Yes, I will back that up.
I'm gonna watch so many Patti LaBelle videos. First of all, I know who Jennifer Lewis is, and I respect her. I still think it's kind of bullshit, like doing your roommate for Snatch Game and being basically yourself, but whatever.
But other than that, we thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.
Cool.
All right, bye.
Bye.